Previously on Gaines Poker.
I don't think I can do it anymore. I really don't. I honestly don't think I can do this. Like, fuck this low stake bullshit. Like, fuck this. Honestly,
Okay, slept it off. Some of the frustration is still lingering, not gonna lie, but got most of it out. Today is our last day in Vegas. Already checked out of the room. The bags are at the bell desk, and let's see if we can give this poker thing one more try. The Aria always has games going, and the 2-5 is what we're gonna play today. We start the session almost at noon with $1,000, and the first real hand we get involved in, we look down at pocket kings on the button. Not a bad first hand to get involved in. It folds around to us, and we open things up to $15. The small blind folds, but luckily the big blind comes along. Not the action we wanted with such a premium, but action is action. It's better than none, and we're heads up to a flop, and it comes 8-8-3 with 2 diamonds. The big blind checks and flow to us, and we don't really have much to worry about here. I mean, if he has an 8, then so be it. So we just check, and maybe he'll take this action as weakness and want to bluff off future streets. So off to a free turn, and the turn is a good one. It's a queen of diamonds. I say a good card because it's an undercard to our pair, and no way he has pocket queens, so still winning unless he has one of the 2 remaining 8s in the deck. Yeah, the flush draw comes in, but we have the king of diamonds to fall back on, and I highly doubt he has ace something of diamonds, because he'd probably want to squeeze that hand in the big blind. So we can eliminate that from his range. He does decide to lead on this card and throws out $20. Like I said earlier, not really scared of much still. So we just make the call. So just playing it chill. If we did raise and he insta-mucks, I'd feel so stupid and probably flip the table over. Because if he is bluffing, we're just going to let him continue bluffing. The river comes off a total brick. It's a 4 of hearts. Hoping he'd bet so we can raise for value, but he doesn't. He checks on over to us, and by him checking, I know we have the winner, but still want to get value. There's $70 in the middle, $72, so we go for a little over 2/3 pot size bet and throw out 50. We don't want to be too greedy, and he doesn't snap fold, which now I'm thinking that we should have gone bigger. He looks like he's either contemplating a call or a fold, so he does have something of value. And obviously hoping for a call, which he ends up finally doing. He does toss in the money for a call. We flip over our kings, and they're good. Not too long after, we look down at pocket kings again, this time in middle position. Like last hand, folds around to us, and we open it up to $15. Only the small blind makes a call, and we're heads up to a flop, and it comes queen high, rainbow, queen 7-3. The small blind checks and flow, and it seems like an okay board again, not as safe as the last one. So we c-bet this time $20, targeting any queen holding or backdoor potentials. But unfortunately, no further action for us because he folds. And just 2 hands later, we look down at the exact same hand again, pocket kings. We get it 3 times in the span of like 30 minutes. Let's go. We're first to act this time, and we open things up to $15. Let's play a big one. Come on, someone 3-bet. It folds to the hijack, and we do get our wish because he 3-bets to $50. On a side note, this player stacked an opponent early on in the session, so he had almost 3K in his stack, so he clearly covers us. Action's back on us, and question is, do we 4-bet, putting more money in the middle, or just call as a trap? In lower to mid-stakes games, people rarely 4-bet as bluffs. Haven't seen many 3-bets, if at all, thus far, so didn't seem like that kind of a table. If we were in a bigger game, a 4-bet is the right play, but at 2-5, it's most of the time aces or kings, so we play it sneaky and just make the call for $35 more. And also, getting kings 3 times already was a little trippy, and I feel like all trip we've been doing the right thing, the normal thing, and just getting shit on. So let's not play standard and see what happens. The flop comes out, and in the window it's paint, but it's a jack followed by a 2 and then an ace. Wow, only card we did not want to see. We check and flow to the 3-better and the hijack down best to $30. And just because we see the dreaded ace doesn't mean we can go anywhere just from one c-bet. So we make the call. I still think he'd be c-betting pocket queens majority of the time on an ace-high board that favors his range, so we decide to float. The turn is a brick, it's an 8 of hearts, gives us no help, So we check again, and maybe he'll slow down and we can see a free river. But nope, he continues and throws out $110 or $115, and there's really no option for us, nothing really to do, so we fold. Probably doing the quote-unquote standard thing and four betting was the right play, but we probably would have been screwed either way, because if he jams and we call, we lose, because he either has aces, ace-king, ace-queen suited, and with that flop, we get stacked. Only hand we'd still be fist pumping about is facing pocket queens, because even pocket jacks beats us on that board. Or it would be even worse, we 4-bet to 175, 185, and he just makes a call. And then we're forced to play out of position with pocket kings on an ace-high board. Just seems like either way, we were destined to lose that one. The poker god said, "That's too many times for you seeing pocket kings in such a short amount of time." Moving on to this hand, and pocket kings again in this one? Nah, just one, king 8 suited on the button. It folds around to us, and kings have been hot for us thus far, and a suited one is not bad. So we open it up to $15, both the small blind and the big blind call. So going 3 ways to a flop, and the flop comes amazing. We flop the world, king, queen, 10 with 2 clubs. Kings still running hot today. Both blinds check to us, and we have everything, but can't let players see free cards. So we c-bet $15. The small blind makes a call for 15. And he was an older man who only has 175 in his stack. The big blind mucks his cards, so going heads up to a turn with not much to play for behind, and it comes another king. It's a king of hearts. All right, this is just getting redonkulous. We had the world, now we have the sun too. I don't know, it's just kind of a messed up situation because we have everything, so what can he really have that can call another bet? I guess there's only one way to find out. He texts us again and gonna set up a river jam, less than a pot size river jam. So we double the flop bet and throw out $30. But he snap folds before our chips even stop moving. My thinking though was if we check back and the river is a red ace, jack, or 9, and he beats us with a straight, I would just be so pissed. I guess when you've been on a downswing like we have, the thought process is they always have it or they're gonna catch it. So it sucks to not get the max, but it's better than him sucking out because we decided to check. Just a few hands later, we look down at another suited king. All the hands we've played so far have been kings or has a king in it. And it wasn't like it was a challenge of the day or anything. It just happened to be that way this far. We're in the hijack, and this time we weren't the initial aggressor. The guy to our right, the low jack, opens to $15. We just decide to make the call. Kings seem to remain hot for us, so why stop now? It folds to the big blind, who calls $10 more, and we're in position going 3 ways to a flop. And it comes another king. It's king 5-3 with 2 diamonds. The big blind checks to the initial aggressor, and he doesn't decide to c-bet, which was not expected. We have top pair, and there's some draws available, so we can't let them see any cards for cheap. So we throw out a bet, $20. The big blind lets it go, and the low jack makes a call, so heads up now. And the turn is a 10 of hearts, a safe card, but does bring in 2 flush draws. He checks to us, and kind of just want to play this cautiously and check back to keep the pot manageable. Other than flush draws, not sure what we can get called by. So we do, and we're off to a free river, and it pairs the board. It's a 5 of spades. I don't really know how I feel about this card. On one hand, it's bad because our kicker now doesn't even play. But on the other hand, all the flush draws miss. So if he wasn't slow playing a king, we should be golden. The low jack is first to act, and he puts out a bet, $115, which was not surprising. Like I said, if he missed his draws, he has to bet to win. It is a decent sized bet over the size of the pot. So he check calls flop, checks turn, and now leads river for over pot size on basically a brick river. Let me know what you guys think he has in this spot. It's well over the size of the pot, like I said, and this makes us think, puts us in the tank a little bit. Like, what would he do this with? Our hand is basically a bluff catcher since we're chopping with any inferior king anyway. We do decide to make the call after a little bit of tanking, and he flips over his cards and he has king 10 offsuit. I just chuckle to myself and muck my cards. I guess great check by us on the turn Could have lost more if we bet out and continued. I really need to stop paying off these people when they overbet, thinking it's more often a bluff. At lower stakes, it's more often than not a bluff when they overbet the size of the pot. And kings are not hot for us anymore. It was just a great run out for him, the way the hand played out, all draws missing. I think we're only playing hands with a king in them, but here's one hand we didn't. We had ace queen offsuit in early position. We open and get a few callers. The flop is 8 high, checks us, and we check, and the button bets out for pot, and we just let it go. This one, back to the kings. A few hands later, we look down at king queen offsuit on the button. There's a few limps, the under the gun and the cutoff. Action now on us, and we bump things up to $25. The blinds fold, but both limpers make the call, so going 3 ways to a flop. Come on, kings, don't fail us now. And finally, this time the king streak runs out. But we still hit top pair. It's queen 5-3 with 2 clubs. Backdoor flush draw as well, so things are looking good. They both check to us, and we do see bet small to $20. Pretty standard stuff. The under the gun folds, but the cutoff raises 3x to 75. Not standard. I mean, I guess I wouldn't say not standard, but not what we necessarily wanted. This is the same player as the last hand, a European guy who had some poker knowledge, so we can just assume he was a decent player. We're in position, so we just call. I don't think nothing really to do besides call for $50 more. We're going to be treading cautiously though as we go on to a turn, and it's a 6 of spades, bringing in 2 flush draws now. Also 4-2 and 4-6 suited make straights, unlikely holdings, but they're still out there. The cutoff is first to act, and he continues for $160. I was really hoping he'd slow down, not gonna lie. This player covers us, so I feel like even if we are ahead, like if we happen to be ahead at the moment, he has a lot of equity against us, and regardless, a nice sized river bet is incoming, putting us in a really tough spot. If we do call, there'd be 550 in the middle, and at that point, that would set up a little over pot size river jam. If we don't improve, even if the river is a total blank, it's going to be really hard to continue with just one pair, and I think he knows this. So, making our lives easier, we just shamelessly let it go. It was just one of those spots where we had to make a decision now on what we were going to do. This interesting hand is a frustrating one to say the least. We're in the hijack, the under the gun limps for $5. It folds to us, and we look down at king 10 offsuit. Again, with the king, I swear I'm not only picking hands with the king in them, I promise. We raise to $20. It folds to the under the gun older gentleman. He asks how much, and the dealer says 20, and he eventually puts in the $15 for a call. We're heads up and have last action. The flop is king jack 4 rainbow. We hit top pair again. The under the gun checks and flow, and we see bet, a down bet to $15. The under the gun makes a call right away. Normal things happening thus far. The turn is a 6 of spades, bringing in the backdoor flush draw. He checks to us again, and I still feel like we have the best of it. So we bet again, continuing for $35. If we do happen to be behind, we're going to hear from him right now. And before the dealer counts out the chips, the under the gun makes the call. The speed on which he called, that tells me he's on a draw of some sort. So hoping for a brick on the river, and it comes the exact opposite. It's ace of spades. So a card over our pair, the flush draw, and the obvious queen 10 for a straight gets there. I can't even count how many hands now beat us. He does this kind of weird delayed check. He has his hand up, then finally hits the table to check. It's like he was mid contemplating if he wanted to check or not. We don't take too long and check back and announce we have a king. He flips over his cards and he has ace jack offsuit. Such a bad card. No ace, no jack on the river, and we win. Just a little bit of luck. Come on, that's all I'm asking. We're playing well, betting when we're ahead and then checking when we're not. And this is the kind of shit I'm talking about that's been happening over this entire trip. We move on to this hand, another hand with a king in it that's followed by an ace. This time we have ace king suited in the small blind. The old man from the last hand opens to $25, a bigger open than normal. The cutoff gets out of the way, the button makes a call, and on to us in the worst position with a solid premium. Definitely gonna bump things up, so we do, and make it $95 to go. The big blind folds, the initial raiser, the old man, looks back at his cards, then gives them to the dealer. The button, who was the European player, makes the call. Would have wanted it the other way around. I mean, either way we'd be out of position, but rather play against the old man than the European guy to my right. But we're still heads up to a flop, and can you guess what the flop is? Seriously, try to guess the way we've been running. It's 5 high, all diamonds. Wow. I mean, wow. Before this hand, I was actually debating if I should rack up and just put the rest of my stack on a spin of roulette, but apparently I can't even hit red or black cards, let alone the same suit. We check, because we don't have the range advantage, the nut advantage, and I'm just lost. I guess sometimes we check the nut flush, or if you've seen my last video, flopping a wheel straight flush. Not this time though, we completely whiff. He bets out $50, and I don't see this hand getting any better for us. Hope for a non-3 of diamonds, I guess. But even then, pocket sixes wins. Just whatever, man, you could have it. We fold, we play our button, and maybe one hand after that, but I'm just so done with this session and this trip.
I hate it here! I want to go home!
Nope, we're not at the airport, guys. I had to do it here. I don't know, had to just say it was on my mind right away. That's probably the biggest downswing we've ever had. And I know we've lost more on trips, but this one just feels different. A lot different. I mean, I don't think we've ever had back-to-back losses, or trip losses, I guess you can say. Last trip, I mean, lost like $700-800, and then this one 17 something. I don't know, the numbers will be over here somewhere, but something like that. And like I said, even combine those two, I've lost more on trips in the past. So again, it's not the money, it's more how, I guess you can say, how it happened. I mean, if you've been following along this whole trip, I mean, yeah, we had that win at the very beginning, which was good, $500 some. And then after that, it just like, and again, it was more how, like the low stakes. And well, today we played 2-5 at Aria, but which I felt like better. I was like, all right, let's go. Like we can turn this around. Like F the low stakes stuff. Now back to stakes that we're actually comfortable playing. And even those stakes, I mean, again, it's not the stakes, it's just the cards. Like they weren't, it wasn't going our way. We had like kings like 3 or 4 times, like pretty much back to back. And then, I mean, king 10 versus king 9, yeah, we were behind the whole time. It's just a great board for him. Like all the draws missed, paid it off, shouldn't have, whatever. But what was it? We had queens, we had a pair, top pair, or kings or queens, whatever, against ace jack. And he had middle pair and just no ace, no jack on the river, and we win. And then that last hand just threw me over the edge. Ace king suited, ace king of clubs. Did everything right. 3-bet, I think a decent amount. What was it, $95? Got a $25 raise and then a call. And then I 3-bet 95. And maybe can go more. 105, 110, whatever. But we did that. Button calls, and the flop, like, the flop did this. Like that's what it did. What was it, 5 or 6 high? All diamonds, all red. It's like, what are you gonna do? Like, do we c-bet and hope for the best? I don't know, that hand just threw me over the edge. I was like, this trip is not gonna bend me over anymore. Like, I'm just done. Like I said, there's still light out. Our flight's not till 7 o'clock tonight, and we're kind of just here in the conference area again at the Aria. Like, what else are we gonna do? Like I said, like, I didn't want to play anymore. Like, I didn't feel like playing anymore. That was just the bottom line. And I don't know, right? That's it. I just didn't want to play anymore. So we're just chilling, waiting for our flight. Gonna call the fam, see how they're doing. Haven't talked to them in a few days. Feel bad about it. So I need to call them, say what's up. And I did meet some more viewers and supporters of the channel, so that's always awesome. Shout out to all you guys that I played against or that just came up and said what's up, because they follow me and they like my videos. So that's great. Appreciate you guys, because that's a big part of all of this. That's a really big part. I mean, just interacting with all you guys. I mean, you know that. So hopefully I do get to play with more of you guys on the felt in the future. Don't know where we're gonna go next trip. Again, by the time you guys see this, I don't even know when I'm gonna be posting this. I'm so busy trying to get as many clients in before the holidays, because of the ones that feel all bad for eating all crazy over the holidays. So yeah, I'm gonna be busy with that. And got some new gigs coming up film wise. Again, can't really talk about it because the non-disclosure stuff, they don't even want you posting about it or even hinting at what you're going to be on or what. So, but again, looking forward to that. And I don't know what else, but other than that, everything in life is awesome. I mean, I know I say we woke up, but everything other than that, like, is pretty good. Really good, actually. So can't complain, other than the cards not cooperating. So that we can complain about. But I can look over this tape, look over the film, try to get better, try to find decent spots, and hope to get lucky. I mean, why can't we run aces into kings and hold with aces, or vice versa, run aces into kings and spike a king on any street and just happen to win? And yeah, why not us? It can be us. Let it be us. But that's all I got. I'm just gonna chill, probably just head to the airport earlier than I would have normally. But yeah, it's a blessed day. You guys woke up, you saw this. Always remember, I'm Matty Ice, this is Gaines Poker. Peace out.